Hey guys, it's Emmy. Today I'm going to make a quick, I'm not going to call it a rant, but I think it needs to be spoken of. There's nothing wrong with having a mental illness, but we need to have a conversation. We need to have a conversation in the general public sense, not as so much as me, about the difference between having what one may call like pure mental illness or something like severe anxiety brought on by things that are medical, ongoing, chronic, and not going to be fixed. However, I mean, you might get lucky and it's medical, but then it gets fixed and you still have anxiety. Um, there's even family members of mine who are just, well, if you have anxiety, you should be on meds, kind of thing. Or if people with anxiety, this isn't how they experience a panic attack, or this isn't what triggers people, or that's not anxiety, that's depression. Well, for one, unless you have gone to college 4+ years, I don't really see that as something that you should be saying to anyone else because obviously you don't have any qualifications for such. You can tell somebody they're being a little unreasonable, but flat out just being like, hey guys, guess what? You don't have anxiety, and why aren't you on meds? And how can you be a parent? And what about this? And what about that? And it's. Stop. Stop. If somebody says something makes them anxious, maybe there's a different reason. Maybe they're not just anxious about everything. And maybe they mean stressed. Those two words, for me, might as well be the same damn word. Sorry, adjustment here. They might as well be the same word. They overlap for me in some areas. Just either way. I'm going to go by my experience. I am also not a trained medical professional in the mental health area. So I can't tell you what you feel. I can't tell you what you feel is wrong or right, even if it's society's version of wrong. I can't tell you you're wrong. So for me, let's go with this. My anxiety manifests itself in a way that isn't so much of panic attacks. Now, I'm going to stop there because I do have issues that cause feeling like I can't breathe or something like that. However, my general day-to-day or things that stop me from being able to be functional for a while are not little shaky panic attacks. Yes, my heart might race on the occasion, but it does that on its own, regardless of any anxiety, because that is the disease I have. So, with that said, when many people I know, and if you're joining from a GP support group, thank you. Thank you. I do have that issue. I have many issues above, beyond, and affecting or causing it. So this may not all be about that, but I feel like most people with chronic illness, even somebody who has a chronic illness that may actually be treated or cured, will feel the same feelings at some point, and it can be cathartic to listen to somebody else and rant and rave about it. So, for me, stuff that kind of just like really gets under my skin. Let's start with that. It's like trying to figure out how to say this is not like being super rude. So, I have family members who kind of just like, oh, well, you're depressed, or somehow it's something that it's an anxiety, but they don't understand where it's coming from. I guess suppose if you've never had like a severe medical issue, it's hard to understand. For me, things that trigger me are almost never directly a medical thing. I had to go to the hospital today. It's nothing drastic. They called me and said, hey, on Monday when you got your bi-weekly labs, something happened, and 2 hours later, we got an order for 15 other labs come through. So you need to come tomorrow and get those done. Well, I already had 2 stabbies on Monday. I went to my hematology oncology clinic for anemia monitoring because I don't produce red blood cells correctly. I get transfusions a lot, so I went there, and I also went to my regular bi-weekly go to the hospital, get your labs drawn, go home thing, and so I just didn't want to go back because in America, I think our system is slightly different than most countries, first world English speaking countries outside of us. So for us, I understand some of Canada and UK's ways that they have to go about getting certain medical things is very bureaucratic, but it feels similar in the US. If you have, like, I have 3 insurances, because if I didn't, I'd probably be living in a box or dead. If you've dealt with medical insurance in the US, you know where I'm coming from. I just don't, people stare at you because for me, I am aware I am thin and I don't think about it that often except for when people like stare at me because my weight has been stable since 4 months after having my son, and previous to being pregnant it was stable. Went up when I was pregnant. Clearly there's a baby growing there. That kind of happens. I mean, how wouldn't it, right? That's how things work. It's how nature works. Nature, it's amazing. So, that really bugs me, and just sometimes it can wear me out. Today, it was particularly, I think it's almost 60 degrees outside, and we're talking about mid-February or late February in Michigan, so usually we are looking at fairly cold temperatures. That's actually really nice today, but, I was kind of in a weird mood anyway because yesterday I woke up and I was like, woo, mom has a day off. I'm going to take my son and my mom and we're going to go. There should have been child support deposit day, so I could have gone and got the groceries I needed and shit for my son and like stuff like that. And President's Day is a holiday. I do understand this quite fully, that it is a bank holiday, but computers that handle auto deposit, that the money they already had on like Friday, they don't need the day off because they're computers. They do shit on their own. That's how automatic bill pay works. How does a holiday, it should not affect that, but it did. So like that kind of, I don't know, stuff like that is just like something I'm expecting to happen, or just even when like I cracked my phone, I don't know why it triggers me to just kind of, I go to a dark place. Very small things can do it. Things like I rip a shirt and my brain will go, oh my God, so then what happens? Like, I'm not gonna, it just spirals into being sick and financial and everything else. And it's not that I have a panic attack, it's that I shut down. I still take care of my son. I still get the very basic house things, but I don't generally leave the house. I try not to make any phone calls, even if I should have made them. I kind of just stop being functional. It's not the best thing. It's very cumbersome. It can stop you from getting shit done that you need to get done. That is how my anxiety works. I become worrying about everything and I'm very, very, very stressed out, but I'm not, either I'll start cleaning a whole lot or I'll just, it's not that I don't keep things generally clean, but I'm not going to go vacuum. And I'll fold the laundry, but it's just fuck not putting it away. But you know, that goes into other things where I just don't, it's like, oh, it's a nice day. If I get triggered to kind of start the shutting down stress out, the nice day that I really want to take my son somewhere, I can't push past my general pain that I push past, or weakness, or shortness of breath or fear of passing out or palpitations. I can push past those, but when my anxiety hits, it doesn't happen. I just give up. I give up. I start feeling like, what is the point? I don't know. I don't know. I've had to get rid of politics because anything that shows, fortunately, I do not have cable television, so I don't have to worry about turning on the freaking TV and seeing how Apocalypse Now is starting. In some way, regardless of this year's other political issues, even previously, there's always more bad than they ever make an attempt at good. They never make an attempt at making anything sound good. And it's quite frustrating. Because it kind of triggers me to just not... It makes my brain go like, I should have gone back. I shouldn't have done this. Why did I bring a kid into this world? I love my kid with all my heart, but I feel bad because I'm feeling like the world is against us, itself, it's humans, whatever, the environment at this point. I don't know why that stresses me out so much. I mean, I've already told you guys I don't like getting... I appreciate good mail, but hear me out. If you're going to send something to me, that would be fine. Most of the time in my life is current. Phone calls from numbers I don't know, or God help me, certain numbers I do know. And any mail that looks governmentally threatening to my livelihood of being alive, that is one of those things that it just terrifies me. I don't know why. It's always been that way for the most part. I mean, when I'm waiting for a package, like I am currently, it makes me anxious because I want to see if it's come. But at the same time, I don't want to, like, get threat-mantic mail. So, yeah, I really want to get into some directed videos, but I have been talking to certain people who are friends who have chronic illnesses and other people who I know, and I want to put it out there that it is okay if you do not meet what society thinks your anxiety should be. It's okay to tell them to shove it, or unless they, or, you know, I've told people, look, unless you have a degree in psychology, you need to shut your mouth. Because you don't know what my life's like. You don't know what my anxiety's like. You don't know that every single night... Hold on. My every single night is meds. Meds. And meds. Every night. I've been taking these same meds for 3 years. So I don't throw up while I sleep. They're slightly sedating. But in the past 2 months, every night, the effects that this med has on every single person, which is to feel drowsy and a little like your eyes can't focus, and I'm in bed and I can't go to sleep. Because for some reason, my brain keeps telling me that I'm having an allergic reaction and I'm going to stop breathing, which is why I feel tired. And now my lips are swelling. And, like, it spirals. It's not panic attack where I feel like I can't breathe or you have the chest tightness or any of the classic signs. But it is a level of panic that I sit there with my EpiPen in my hand. I don't have it. Maybe I do. I do not. I sit there with my EpiPen in my hand at my bedside where I am waiting to go to sleep. And it takes me 2.5 more hours every night to convince myself I'm not having an allergy reaction. That being said, I can't stop taking that med. The one that they're supposed to order, I don't want to put my doctors on blast here, but for the love of God, if you say you're going to order something that day, get on the goddamn phone and order it. Because it's been 2 weeks. I can't change off of this medication unless I have one that will stop me from throwing up in the middle of the night and being in a whole world of nausea and dry heaving and like not being able to like lay down and sleep, because if I get up and I do vomit, it will be on my carpet, and that is not okay. It's a quality of life med. You know, that part where you sleep. But I can't do it because my anxiety is now latched on to me worrying if I'm having an allergic reaction every single time I don't feel good. My anxiety about this reoccurring problem I have of lymph nodes here swelling up very large and looking awkward in my face has stopped me from using the whims that I've had to want to make videos that I've wanted to make in the past couple days. My anxiety of looking silly, taking my dog on a very short walk in the decent weather at the park, has stopped me from doing something that I used to like to do. It stops me from calling people when I should. It makes me feel like I might be dying of an allergic reaction. I feel like I need to stock up on things, or like I always feel like I need something at my house, but then you get to the store and you spend the money and then you're like, no, you're an idiot. Or I want to put makeup on because I think to myself, it does make me feel good, but you know what else it kind of does is it makes it difficult to justify not leaving the house or anything really. I'm having issues with that. I know I should be calling some of my specialists and just hounding them to change my meds. I'm sick of calling doctors. I don't know. I'm gonna have a more positive video. A little less where I stop talking and wondering my insecurities. How did my nose get that big? How did my lips look like the lipstick's not on them, even though they freaking are? It's like microscopically sit in the mirror and draw it, but I'm gonna stare at the camera and feel differently. The positive things in this day is I went and I found some Prestige eyeliner that is liquid, because I'm learning that it's easier for me to draw a straight line that way. And also colors. I generally just do black. My eyes are blue. My skin is about the same color as my wall, which, by the way, my wall is white. I'm pale as fuck. I always have a weird pallor to my skin, and it may or may not be just my regular skin color, but it could be that I am constantly running on a level of anemia that would concern doctors if you were like a averagely healthy person. So I'm excited about that. I'd like to show off the colors, even though I pulled it out of the packaging already. I'm like a 2-year-old. I got my son a little toy. I got an art to put on my wall. Not really one of those people, but I did see something that I was like, oh my goodness, I think I kind of like that. Nothing big or amazing, just, sometimes you manage to get something done and you feel less irritated with life. So I'm gonna go because my mom's gonna come help me hang my pictures and art in my son's room and my room. Not my art that I created, one that my aunt created, one that a store put inside of a frame and I bought it. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to make a movie tonight. Video, not movie. Come on, quit being old. I'm gonna try to make a video tonight. just kind of maybe being a little more upbeat, showing you some things that I like, some things that I do, talking about certain things that do make me feel better if I feel so inclined. Maybe I'll even write a structured list. I know, right? I'm structured with a lot of things, but not that. So I might actually get around to doing that just so I can make a video that's not like rambly, rambly, rambly. 20 minutes later, we made no point. Yay! So for all of you guys out there who don't feel well, feel like the world is just so oppressing you at this very, very moment, I'm not going to say you're wrong. Sorry. I'm going to say it's okay to feel that way because you're a person. And, I'm sorry I'm sweating. You're going to have to see my skinny arms. I'm a person. And, I can't tell you that it's, like, not okay. But I can tell you that if you feel that way, everybody gets it at some point. If you're chronically ill, like me, and you would then be just a chronic life warrior, that's okay. It's okay to not feel good. It's okay to feel oppressed. It's not okay to stay that way forever, but it is okay to have feelings. And it's okay to have feelings that you know are just like, I feel this way all the time. You have feelings and you're like, boy, that's stupid. Having the wherewithal to know that something doesn't sound right is actually quite good. So that's okay. It's okay. So take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Breathe out. If you're still sitting here, you made it. I mean, you made it through half of the day because it's like 2:30. And even if all you do is go to bed and do your meds, or go to bed and start your TPN, go to bed, start your GTube feed, or maybe you're just not chronically ill. Maybe if all you do is manage to eat a Pop-Tart, go pee, and go to bed, you know, it feels like a failure, but is it really that bad? It doesn't feel great, but you managed to move, right? You managed to click a YouTube video, and when you fall asleep, if you fall asleep, when you open your eyes tomorrow, you managed to grace the world with one more part of your day. Everybody has an important role in this planet. Even when it doesn't seem like it. Even if you never think you've touched someone else's life. Even if all you did was have a couple rescue pets that you raised and you live in your house all the time because you're homebound, you don't think you didn't touch their life? You don't think at some point you've talked to somebody and just say, hey, you look pretty today. I like the color of whatever. Or, I hope you're having a good day. You'd be surprised. Sometimes just that little thing that you don't even remember doing has affected somebody positively. So I'll talk to you later, guys. Have a good one.